Hi everyone, welcome back. So you may have noticed I have not been posting as much as I normally do. I actually have been really focusing on launching my Etsy store. So I'm happy to announce that as of April 20th, I officially have opened. And so I wanted to take you through what I have listed in my shop right now. The first thing, which was much requested, was my travel plans insert. So let me put these off to the side. So we have the cover sheet of the travel plans, we have a spot for your destination, depart and return dates, information about the trip, information about your transportation to the airport while you're gone, spot for your rental car information, parking or shuttle info, meeting and convention info, so if you're going to a meeting or convention while you're there. There are departure and return flight information sections, so there's enough room for 4 legs for your depart and return flight. Hopefully you don't have to use all 4, but you never know. Sometimes if you have an international trip, you have to make a lot of connections. I did include, in addition to confirmation number, airline flight number, depart and arrive, whether or not you'll be going through customs, whether when you're arriving someplace or departing. So that way you can double check your layovers and make sure you have enough time. I have a packing list that I included fairly generic information, and then there is a grid over here so you can add more of whatever you would like to add. There is a pre-trip checklist with room to add more things, and again, another grid, so if you want to add more or if you want to make notes, you can do that. The next section is individual days. There are 12 days that are included, so if your trip is shorter than that, you can actually just take pages out. There's essentially 4 days per actual page. So each day has the date, a spot for you to write the weather, a spot for you to make notes about where you're staying, confirmation number, address, phone number, a spot for you to make notes about any meetings, appointments, or tours you have scheduled, a spot for you to track expenses, and then a place for you to make a note about what sorts of outfits you'll need for that day. The thought being, if you total them all up, so you need 6 business outfits when you come back here to your packing list, that's what these lines are for. So if I know I need 6 business outfits, I can write a 6 right here, and then I can figure out of the things that I am planning to take with me, how many of them I need to bring in order to make 6 outfits. So that is what those lines are for. All right, so past the day section, we have a post-trip checklist. So when you get home, things you might need to do. And then there is a section for expenses. We can write date, the details, and what the amount is. The back page is a blank grid, so if you want to make more notes, if you want to continue your expenses, there's room for all of that. All right, so that is personal size. Now I did go ahead, because I know that a lot of people are using pocket sizes, especially when they're traveling, if they don't want to take a large planner. I did make a pocket size version. Because it is pocket sized, I had to move things around a little bit. So let me just open these up for a comparison. Let's put these side by side. This page is spread across 2 of the pocket size pages. This page is spread across 2 pocket size. So you have departure on one side, return on the other. Packing list, same thing. I split it up between the 2 pages. There's still a little room left over, so if you want to add a few extra things, there is room for that. The pre-trip checklist is 2 pages. One of them I just left blank check marks. As far as the days go, 6 days are what are included. If you need extra, you can just print more of these middle sheets, and that'll give you as many days as you would like. Then you have your post-trip checklist, again, spread across 2 pages, a little extra room. You still have the expenses, and then there is a blank page here at the back for you to make notes or write whatever you need to. So we still got all the same information in, a few fewer, not as many days included, but again, you can print more of the individual pages to make up for that, so however long you have them. So 2 different sizes of travel plans. The next thing we have is a blank perpetual monthly tracker. So there are no days of the week associated with this, so you basically can purchase it one time, use it forever and ever. I did leave everything blank here so you can fill in what you are tracking. Couple of tips. If you know what the weekend is, let's say the weekend is the 8th and the 9th, you can actually highlight this, maybe with a midliner, and that will give you an easy reference to what the weeks are. The other thing is, if you have something you do morning and night, these boxes should be tall enough where you can draw a line down down the middle and split it in half. So if you need more room, maybe you want to track doing something several times a day, those are a couple different ways to use these. The other side is just a continuation. Because these print booklet style, this doesn't match up, but when you assemble the inserts, they do. All right, I'm just being lazy and not trimming them up. So the next thing we have are my daily inserts. So I have several different versions. The first is undated. So when you print one of the files, it prints as a week. So there's a grid page and then 7 undated daily pages. So that way you can print them off a week at a time. The rest of them are just double side of this. There's a section for you to write today's date, any other information for the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and then a column here on the right side for you to put whatever you want in there. The next version we have is simply dated. That's all the information that's on here. And if you compare these, you'll see I've added the day of the week and then the date for that month. Now these are assembled by weeks. So you will have a page at the beginning that has the week information on it. This has a tip-in on it. It'll have a grid and then it will launch into the week. So these are put together by weeks. Also, the next thing we have is dated with holidays. So I've added holidays here. It's most of the United States holidays. I did include Christian holidays because I do have a third version that includes a reading plan for the liturgical year. So if you want to do your own holidays or you don't want the holidays included, then you can get just the dated version and write your own holidays in. These include fun holidays like Bubble Bath Day and Pet Day and things like that. So it's not just American holidays, but it's just kind of fun seasonal types of things to celebrate. So then the last one is the one that has the date, holidays, although I don't think this page has a holiday on here, but it does print there. And then it has the readings that go along with the liturgical year Bible study that I've been working on. If you pull up the insert, there's a link to the book. You can do this without the book, but the book does a good job of pulling all the readings together for the week and explaining why. And it also talks a little bit about the liturgical year if you're not familiar with that. So I do recommend getting the book. Amazon has it. So if that's something you would enjoy, I do have these as well. These are the inserts that you see me using. So you can actually get the actual ones that I use. And again, like all of my daily inserts, they're put together by week. So you have the week cover page. You have a grid. I have tip-ins if you would like to add those in. This one is the grocery list and weekly menu planning. And then you have a day per page for the week. You have a blank page. I have a to-do list tip-in that you can purchase that can also be attached to this. The idea being, while you're working on your week, you can flip this one open, you can pop out your to-do list, and then you can see both of those items while you're working on your week. That's why I put it as a tip-in as opposed to just another page in here. So each one of these has, again, a week index page and a blank page at the end. Now, if you are a member of my Facebook group, you might have seen a little while ago when I was starting to think about an Etsy shop that I did put out a free to members holiday sheet that is listed in my Facebook group. So if you join the Facebook group, you can actually download that and print it out and add it to your planner so you have the holidays. So when we get closer to the next year, I'll obviously update all of the dates so that you have that. I've actually had a lot of fun putting these together. Generally, I'm releasing these daily inserts in quarters. So right now what's available in the shop, because it's at the end of April, is April, May, and June. And when April is done, I will probably go ahead and roll out the next quarter. So you'll have access to quarter 3. So July, August, and September, and so forth. So kind of as we move through the months, I will continue adding new months. Things that I'm getting ready to add is a week on one page with a grid on the other side. So again, it'll match the fonts and everything. So if you like having a week at a glance so you can have an overview of your week, that will be available shortly. And I have a few other things up my sleeve as well. We'll see how those pan out and come to fruition, but I am always open to ideas. So if there's any inserts you would like to see, definitely leave them in the comments box below. A few other things that I have included are the YouTube video planning pages. which looks like this. So it gives you a spot for the title, notes and ideas, future ideas. So maybe if somebody makes a comment on the video and you want to make a note that you want to follow up with something different, there's a spot for the publish date, for you to keep track of your progress, a category, description and links that you want to include, and then if you want to keep track of the stats, whether it's just views or whether that includes also any revenue that you've made, there's a spot for that on there as well. I did make these single-sided, if I remember correctly. I will have to double check on that. Actually, I think I printed these single-sided. So when I use these, use them single-sided because that gives me room for notes on the back. So you do have the option to print them double-sided. So if you keep your information contained to this page, then you can have 2 per page. But I do like being able to move them around and rearrange them so that if I want to reorder how I'm uploading, I don't have to worry about what's on the back. So up to you, but just as a note for that. Anyway, hope that was helpful. I'm really excited to have this Etsy store open. Again, the link will be in the description box down below. Same thing with the link to my Instagram and Facebook groups. If you would like the holidays, this is available for free in the Facebook group. I also have a poll running right now. Again, this is at the end of April. So if you go there within the next few weeks, you can vote on what you would like to see and what I work on next. I do have some other things, like I mentioned, in the works, and I'm really excited about bringing those to you. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye!